Hello, Terry. It's Thursday. We're gonna have we got a work cut out for us today, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. After yesterday, when we we hot dog pick 4. Both of us hit the prime rib pick 4. We paid like $180.
Yep.
Oops, wrong button there. And then we also had best bet come through. So a lot of good stuff going on there. Terry and I entered a contest yesterday to try to qualify for that national handicapping contest. Terry finished 3rd. I finished 22nd. We both made it to a round tomorrow. So wish both of us luck. If we want to go 1-2 tomorrow, Terry, I don't care what order. But if we can finish 1st and 2nd tomorrow, we will have punched our tickets to Las Vegas for next year, my friend.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch the show last night with jockey Tony Black? I feel like we could have had him on for we probably could have stayed on until we started this show.
Yeah, I did, and I really liked it. It was fun. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of good laughs out of it, and he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, pretty good.
Got a lot of energy, man.
He does, yeah. He's 72, I guess, so he's about my age.
He said I think he just turned 70. He said he's going to turn 71 later on this year.
Oh, okay.
Because he wanted to win the race before he turned 71, he said.
Oh, okay. All right.
But he did break some news on the show. Again, this is not the first time we've broken news. The Tony Black is going to come back, and he's going to try for the record to be the oldest jockey to ever win a race.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And I really wish him luck. I'm sure, hope it's going to happen. And soon. So
well, they'll stick him on a good horse to make sure that happens, right, Terry?
Yeah.
Not that he wouldn't do it on his own, but they're going to make sure he gets a horse that gives him a shot at it. And then speaking of that interview last night, if you haven't caught it, make sure you check it out over on Horse Center with Sean and I. But he talked a little bit about one of his tactics, right? When he would come out on a horse, just a little bit to make that horse, because a horse, when another horse is in front of it, he said they'll pause the one behind him.
Yeah, that's right.
We saw that happen yesterday, Terry, in the 7th race at Gulfstream Park with Irad Ortiz.
That's right. Yeah, and actually the 4-horse almost beat Irad's horse, and the 4-horse was my horse. And if it had beat him, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have had the prime rib, but I would have had a much bigger prime rib because he was 9-1.
Yes, but here are the facts, though, Terry. The facts are the 2-horse is going to go by both of them if he doesn't go out.
Absolutely.
And the 2-horse was 12-1, so I would have had an even bigger hot prime rib pick 4.
Yeah, I think I had the 2 too, didn't I?
No, you did not. The 2 was I only had the 2.
Oh, okay.
So
I only had the 4.
I'm fortunate in both ways because that he did it, but because also I needed to win to qualify. Because if he had not won, then I would not have qualified for that tournament either. So worked out perfectly as far as I'm concerned. So Irad, keep pushing horses out unless I don't have you.
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, make sure you check out that interview with Tony Black. That was a really good one. I enjoyed it and just sat back and listened to him tell stories, and the feeling like we could tell stories with Tony Black until Tuesday in 2024.
Yeah.
So today, Terry, we're going to take our wares to Aqueduct Racetrack. 8 races on the card today. Couple scratches. I feel like there's a little bit of some opportunities for some of these races to be really chalky. Hopefully we can find a couple of prices in here somewhere. Race 1 might be one of those races, Terry, but maybe not either. It's a 6-furlong race. It's a claiming $25,000 race, Terry. And 6 furlong races so far, 107 of them at Aqueduct. 73, Terry, were won with horses that had some early speed. 37 of the 107 have gone wire to wire. Post positions are they play mostly fair, but there's a little bit of an inside advantage to horses 1, 2, and 3. We both start with the 1 and 3 just in reverse order, Terry. You like Violent Point. I'm not going to use your name anymore because I got in trouble for that. So tell us why, my friend.
Well, first of all, there's 2 scratches in there. The 5 and the 6 are both scratched. But I like number 3, Violent Point. Won the last race at Aqueduct, has the highest race speed rating. The trainer wins 22% of the time with a claim repeater. Then I like number 1, Baba, beaten only a length and a quarter by similar last start and won 2 out of the 5 races at Aqueduct. Then
Mhm.
number 4, Hydra. The trainer wins 21% of the time when he brings the horse for the second time off of a layoff to race the second time. And he changed to jockey Dalen Davis. And then number 2, Starship Rihanna. She has the highest last speed rating for today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
So I started out, Terry, with number 1, Baba. This horse that's always been well bet, tied for the top early pace figures, but also has top pedigree. The last fractions were a little bit concerning, but it had a pretty good workout since. Violent Point is the 3rd time off the bench. His horse is getting a pretty good weight break here today, too. Last race speed figure above par and quick turnaround because the horse just ran on January the 28th. There are only other 2 horses in the field. This is a 4-horse field thanks to the scratches. Hydra just looks a little bit better than Starship Reina on paper, maybe a lot better. Starship Reina did get off to a pretty good break last time out, but faded pretty badly. So if Starship Reina in a shorter field can get to the lead and run sustainable fractions, maybe can steal this one, but that's doubtful. Race number 2, Terry, is a 6-furlong race as well. It's a claiming $14,000, non-winners of 3 lifetime. There is a purse here for $28,000. We have the same 4 horses, just jumbled up in different order, Terry. The only one we agree on is the 4-horse will finish second.
That's right. Absolutely. So, okay, so we're on race 2 now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're on race 2.
Okay. Sorry about that. I like number 2, Adeline. Ran second versus similar in the last race. And best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 4, Polished Gem. The trainer wins 21% of the time with a claim repeater. You know, a horse that's won and comes back. And then early speed running style helps the chances, and shorter distance should help. Number 1, Rainbow Gal drops in class today, has the highest last race speed reading, and the trainer wins 25% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Number 5, Meb's Web. I like that name. Finished 3rd versus similar in the last race.
I was wrong. We agree that the 4-horse will finish second and the 5th horse will finish 4th. We flip around the 1 and the 2. Rainbow Gal is the top late pace numbers and early pace, late pace combination, so it can string together a race from the beginning to the end, from gate to wire. Did run some of the fastest fractions last time out with the top last race speed figure. Was the beaten favorite. Trainer Orlando Noda does win 9 out of 36 times the last time out when he returns to the track with a beaten favorite. And the resume says that Rainbow Gal will be a better horse in race 2 off the bench compared to race 1. Polished Gem does have a slight early pace advantage over the rest of the field, Terry, and gets a weight break. Horse is dropping off the claim, which is a 18 winner horse in Angle. That's one. Why am I getting phone calls, Lee? I almost never get phone calls. As the horse is dropping off the claim, trainer Linda Rice has won 18 of the last 59 times that's happened. The workouts here are a little bit concerning for me, Terry, because they don't look very good, but the horse does have a tie for the top pedigree. Number 2, Adalyn, missed by a neck in the last one. Missing by a neck seems to be a favorite of the horse because it is a Denzel Bob Dylan horse. Knock, knock, knocking on the barbershop door. 5 times the horse has run at the distance with 2 seconds and 3/3. Has 8 good workouts, 8 furlongs of decent workouts since the last race. Finally, the name that you like, Meb's Web, 3rd off a layoff. Last time the horse ran a 3-race cycle, the 3rd race was the best of the 3. So hopefully that is the case again today. And improved fractions last time out when it ran 6 furlongs versus 6.5 furlongs versus 6 furlongs the previous race. So that's an even better improvement than it just looks like on paper because of the additional distance. Race number 3 is, we're moving on pretty quick today, Terry.
That's right. Yep.
It's a 1-mile race claiming $10,000. So the first 2 were at 6 furlongs. This one's at a mile. 92 races, 71 won by speed. So absolutely, again, speed bias. 25 of the 92, one going wire to wire. And in this case, Terry, there is an outside to inside bias, and there is a penalty for riding the rail.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. What I like in this race, the number 3 Barista Vixen has the highest last speed rating, actually tied with another horse, and the trainer wins 30% of the time in claiming races. So this horse can improve with blinkers added today. And then number 4, my girl Lexi, finished third versus Tougher in the last race and has received the highest last race speed rating. And then drops in class. The trainer wins 23% of the time in the second race after claiming a horse. And number 1, Whispering Rose, likes the distance, finishing 60% of the time in the money and winning 20% of those races at today's distance. And she is 1 for 1 at this track. So, and then number 5, Amos, drops in class today, should improve while returning to a route. And the trainer in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 11 starts.
Barista Vixen is a horse I feel like can run away with this race. It's one that is thinking about making a best bet, but at a morning line 7-5, there's no value in doing that. Does have some of the fastest opening fractions last time out. At Aqueduct's run 4 times, 2 seconds, 2/3. Run at the distance 5 times, 2 seconds. At Aqueduct has 2 wins in 2 seconds. In 4 races. At the distance has run 5 times, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 1/3. It's another horse that should improve in its second run off the bench. Number 1, Whispering Rose, does have the top pedigree in 19 furlongs workout since December 27th. And accompanying that is the top late pace figure. So I expect Whispering Rose to be fit, ready to roll. Number 4, My Girl Lexi, does own the fastest quarter-mile fractions that any horse in this field's been able to produce. Did run again some of the best opening quarter-mile fractions in her last race. Then 12 furlongs of works getting ready. The last workout was pretty good. Not exceptional, but very good. Finally, number 7, Veradia. Horse is making the biggest drop in the field, coming off of a $50,000 purse last time for $28,000 this time. 20 furlongs of workouts since December 24th, so since Christmas Eve. The horse should be fit and ready to run, and I expect that Veradia will be close to the lead out of the gates. Race number 4 is a 6 furlong race again. Just maiden claiming $25,000. Just to kind of recap what 6 furlongs profile of a winner looks like. 107 races, 73 won by speed, 37 wire to wire, slight inside 3 bias, but mostly they play fair. This is my box it up today too, Terry. And the reason it's my box it up, as I mentioned, there are a lot of races today where I feel like some of the chalkier horses could win. And if you get chalk, it kind of makes it difficult for your box it up to have a decent payout. This is one I felt like you had some good odds. Number 7, Lord Brownie is my top selection. Horse ran the top last race speed figure. Did so in its first start off the bench, so I'm expecting more in round 2. Did run some of the fastest opening fractions out of any horse last time out. And the trainer's turning this one right around. Last time ran on January the 28th. It's getting a pretty significant weight break here. Number 6, and I was also thinking about making the 7 a best bet of the day, but I'll tell you why I didn't when we get to my best bet. Okay. Number 6, Waheel. Debut speed number was better than any other horse in this field by a pretty good margin. Second race kind of flattened out, almost walked off. Really bad race. Gets first-time Lasix here after a layoff coming back. So, and this is one of 2 Tom Carley drops. The horse is going from a maiden special weight. Ran for 70 grand last time out for 28. So I think the time on the bench, the Lasix, it's going to revert to its debut form where it ran some speed. You put some Lasix on there and look out. Number 2, How You Feeling? Workout time suggests this is the better of the 2 first-time starters. I would, however, keep an eye on the odds, especially early when it rolls from race 3 to race 4. See which one of the first-time starters gets the early money. That might be a clue which one that people at the track like better. And number 4, he's got a short fuse. That used to be me when I was a little bit younger. That does have the fastest opening quarter-mile fractions out of any horse in this field. And it's another one. It's the second one making that Tom Carley drop. Maiden special weight to maiden claiming $70,000, Terry, down to 28. And again, this is my box it up, a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, and 10-cent superfecta box. Tell us who you like in race number 4.
Okay, well, I like number 7, Lord Brownie. Ran second versus similar in the last race and has the highest last race speed rating. I agree with you. This horse might just take it all the way. So number 6, Wahil, drops in class today, has the best dirt speed among today's starters, and they added Lasix today. And then number 1, Joe Gonzalez. Dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, and the breeding suits today's sprint distance, and the jockey Trevor McCarthy is in the irons. Then number 4, Something Majestic, drops in class today and may improve with Lasix being added.
So tonight, Terry, we are going to have our Players Edge podcast. We'll be talking with our special guest, as we always have, Lefi Pinkai III. He's the announcer on NBC Sports, Fox Sports. You'll see there. He'll be live with us tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like Tom is going to scratch. So it's just going to be myself, Terry, and Sean. We're going to go over a little bit, a couple of races, some big races at Tampa Bay on Saturday, and talk a little bit about what it's like to be a broadcaster and anything else that comes up in the course of conversation. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. What about you?
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's a really good commentator. I enjoy watching him. Been watching him for a long time, so I look forward to tonight's show.
So yeah, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button down there if you're watching on YouTube, or you can follow us by at Horse Race Today, both on Facebook and Twitter, and in Instagram now. So Horse Race, the number 2 day for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I should update the scrolling bar down there to include Instagram. And then when we're about to go live, our Swiss Army Sean, the one who does all the dirty work and behind the scenes, he'll make sure that you are notified via social media. That takes us to race number 5, Terry, at Aqueduct. And again, this is the killer race, Terry. It is the race of death. Why is it the race of death?
Well, because it's the last leg of the first pick 4 and the first leg of the last pick 4. So if you don't get through this, you've done on both pick 4s, assuming you use the same horses.
So race number 5 is another 6 furlong. It's a claiming $10,000 race, Terry. Whew. So how are you going to make it through the race of death?
All right. Well, I like number 4, Summer Burden. Drops in class today, has the highest speed rating at today's distance, and the best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Has a sharp workout on February 2nd. Then number 3, Grand Kazik, was beaten only a length versus Tougher in the last start, and the trainer wins 27% of the time the first race after a claim. It has a really good jockey-trainer combination who in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 4 races. And then number 8, Tell a Mist, won last race at Aqueduct and has the highest last race speed rating. And then number 7, Dream Bigger, drops in class today. Trainer wins 33% of the time when dropping down a horse 2+ classes.
Yes, number 7, Dream Bigger, is not my last choice in this race. It's my first one to hopefully to make it through the race of death. And what's interesting, Terry, is, well, we agree on 3 out of 4 horses. There's just one in there that we don't see eye to eye on. That's the one horse. But Dream Bigger is taking the biggest drop in the field. Ran for $50,000 last time out. 28, as you mentioned, trainer Merton Ken Tremarcy, I hope I pronounced that right, has won 11 of the last 33 times he dropped a horse down 2 classes. Last time out, ran some of the best opening fractions for any horse in this field. And this horse is a 6 furlong race that's been won, a lot of them, over about 70% of them by speed. Number 1 is the second choice, Mi 3%. I think I got that right. Last time out, it ran a speed figure above par for this level. 3 consecutive speed figure increases and was beaten as the favorite last time. and it is moving up the position ladder. So you see that the horse is improving position from race to race. Some additional improvement today. You will see that horse maybe in the winner's circle. Number 4, Summer Bourbon. Horse is making its third start off a layoff. Constantly a public favorite, as it's getting backing constantly by the bettors out there, the horse players. Has the top pedigree and a very good workout on February the 2nd. Finally, number 3, Grand Cascade. I don't know if I got that one right. It's the first race since December the 3rd. Only a couple of okay works, but it is the first off the claim for Robertino Diodoro protege Robert Altras. He's won 40 of 145 like that. The horse is dropping. Last time out ran for 39,000, only running for 28. And when Robert Altras drops a horse off the claim, he's won 9 of 22 starts. That's a pretty good number. I think you'll agree. Race number 6 is your Box It Up, Terry. This one is a first of 2 at 1 mile and an eighth on the main track. Well, they only run on the main track in the winter. They've run 20 races at 1 mile and an eighth. 13 of them won by speed. 9 of the 20 went wire to wire. It's mostly fair with a slight rail bias and a slight 8+ bias. So it's a barbell approach, but not too big of an advantage. Let's take a look at your box up, Terry. Again, this is where we take 4 horses. We put them together in, you know what, though, before we do that, before we get to your box
hot dog pick 4?
Yes, let's do the hot dog pick 4. So you're going to do like I did yesterday. You're going to take a stand in that first leg, Terry.
Yeah, I'm going to. And the reason why is I think it's wide open in the last 2 races. I would have liked to pick an extra horse in the race 2. But one of the things I like about this horse is it just barely got beat last time out at 6.5 furlongs and gotten back a little bit today. But it had been forced out at the 8th and bumped and steadied, so it had a lot of trouble. So I'm really hoping that this horse actually comes up and wins that race. And then I like the 3 in the second leg, the 3 and the 4. And then the 4th leg, I spread to the 4, 6, 1, and 4. The 5th race, I spread to the 4, 3, 8, and 7.
Well, you surprised me a little bit, Terry, here, because you had room for one more horse in race 4 or 5, and you didn't use it.
Yes, I know.
So for me, I was thinking about just singling the 3 and moving my way around it on all the other legs. Because I do feel like the 3 is probably going to, but my feeling is the 3 is probably 7 to 5 morning line, probably going to be bet down 4 to 5, 3 to 5. I wouldn't be shocked if it even goes off lower than that in race number 3. And with a 3 to 5 likelihood, I wanted to try to beat it, and I'm hoping the 1 can get by it. And if that's the case, then maybe we can get a little bit of prices on top and on bottom and get a nice payout for a little $18 ticket. So now let's go back to your Box It Up, Terry, in race number 6. Why do you like these 4 horses?
All right. So in race 6, I like the number 6 Battalion. It won the last race at Aqueduct, came off the turf last race, and seemed to like running in the dirt. The speed breeding has improved in each of the last 3 races, and the trainer wins 21% of the time when he brings a horse back on the 3rd race after a layoff. And then number 3, 235, ran 2nd versus similar in last race, finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 races, winning 1 of those races. And then number 4, Chris and Dave. I've liked this horse for a long time. I've bet it 2 or 3 times. So he had a good year in 2021, finishing the money 80% of the time, and then winning 20% of those races. Drops in class today, and the trainer wins 23% of the time in the 2nd race after a claim. And then number 2, Air Attack. The trainer wins 27% of the time the 1st race after a claim. This horse has the highest speed figure at today's distance and the best start speed, is fastest among today's starters. And that has a really good jockey-trainer combination, as I've said earlier. They've had 2 wins out of 4 starts, and then there's a sharp workout on February 2nd.
So I look at this race, Terry, and I also have the 6 horse on top, and that is Battalion. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Horse is making its 3rd start off a layoff. It's only run 1 time at Aqueduct, and it was at the same distance, same surface, all that kind of stuff. As the fastest quarter-mile fractions any horse in this field has been able to produce. My only concern is it's had average workouts since the last race. But you know what? That's probably just the maintenance work. Number 3, 2:35. 2 good workouts since its last race, totaling 8 furlongs. Has the top late pace numbers by a decent margin. So if there's a little bit of an early pace battle up front, and as some of the horses get tired in 1/8 miles, I expect that you'll see 2:35 coming fastest late. Number 7, Ruby Blue, 5 consecutive speed figure increases. It'll be looking to make it 6, half dozen in a row. It did run the top last race speed figure for this group, but that was at Parks. And if you've watched long enough, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the track upgrade going from Parks to a NYRA track, or NYRA as I call it, but I got reprimanded from the New Yorkers for that. But I do like Kendrick Kermouche on a horse that should be forwardly placed. So I get a lot of mixed bag in there for me on that one. Number 2, Air Attack, first off the claim for trainer Rob Altras, 28% winner. The horse did put a sharp workout on the paper on February the 2nd. And it's a horse that's tied for the top pedigree. And I've been noticing that horses that are tied for the top pedigree that put some nice workouts in and then are claimed seem to be doing all right lately, Terry. I just kind of, one of these things about making these notes all the time, and I would suggest folks, you guys out there doing your handicapping, do the same. Make notes as to why you like particular horses. And then you can look back at your notes, and then you can see if they're starting to some trends on different things that are working at different tracks, and maybe help you identify some horses that you like a little bit more and kind of move them around a bit. Race number 7 is the Battle of Best Bets. Now, at first, I had the same exact order you had, Terry.
Uh-huh.
And I made a mistake doing this yesterday because the way things work out for us, I didn't really get time to go back and adjust things for the change in the at least not in the early races, for the changes from the rain from the turf to the all-weather track. And it probably cost me a winner or two along the way. Fortunately, they were still in my picks. I just didn't get to re-rank them because of the track change. Well, today I did have some time to re-rank things. In this race, there's only 4 horses in the race, right? I think everybody else, well, there's 5 horses, but one of them I don't think fits, like the old Sesame Street thing. Yeah. But with the 6-horse scratching, blew it. That means the 5 horse here at this 1 mile 8 is going to be Lone Speed. It's going to have nobody challenging him up front. And that's why I made the 5 horse my favorite. And that horse is Belay. No, excuse me. There is a storm brewing.
That's right.
I expect that you're going to see there is a storm brewing out in the front, running comfortable fractions and making it difficult for people to catch up. You disagree. You think Water's Edge is the one that's going to get it done.
Yeah, I do, because Water's Edge has never been out of the money in all 6 career starts. Ran second in the last race. Blinkers are added today. Has a really good workout on February 3rd. And this horse actually likes to run pretty close to the front. He can either go on top or he can come from a little bit off the pace. And I think he's going to give this the Storm is Brewing some problems. Although I do like the Storm is Brewing as my second pick. Won 2 races in a row, going in for a hat trick. Has a good trainer and jockey. Then number 3, No Salt, finished 3rd in his last race and has a sharp workout on February 1st. And then number 2, Hush of the Storm, finished 3rd versus Tougher on an all-weather track in his last race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer.
So the Hush of the Storm is the morning line favorite, that 2 horse. And I was looking at that, and I'm kind of wondering why. I mean, I wonder if David Aragona is watching. Doubtful, but if he were a guest of ours, I wonder why he made it 2-1. I know that trainer Tom Morley has won 5 of 14 at Aqueduct. He's won 4 out of 7 when jockey Dylan Davis and he team up together. So those are some pretty good numbers for sure. The horse is the only horse in the field dropping. Ran for $100,000 last time, but running for $74,000. But when you look, as you mentioned, he ran the top number on an all-weather track. So he's run 8 times, and then he's finished, I think, in the money 100% of the time on an all-weather track, but 100% of the time out of the money on a dirt track. So maybe the horse just doesn't like dirt. Maybe they ought to think about running it on turf. As I mentioned already, there's a Storm Brewing is my best bet because I feel like it's going to be unchallenged on the lead. Last time out, it ran at the same distance, won by 4 3/4 lengths. Water's Edge does have the top early pace, late pace combination. Always well bet, and expecting a better better race in the second race off the bench after a layoff. And there was a good workout in between that race and this race. And finally, number 3, No Salt does have the top pedigree, does have the top late pace numbers. I don't know that late pace is actually going to work to its benefit today because I don't expect a very fast pace up front, but does have 8 furlongs to work out since its last race, and a very strong one on February the 1st. So I think you're probably going to see No Salt try to maybe be third out of the gate. We'll see. And then the final race on the card is race number 8. We go back to 6 furlongs again, 107 races, 73 won by horses that are first, second, or third at the quarter-mile marker. 37 opened up out of the gate at the lead and finished at the wire with the lead. There's a slight inside 3 bias, but for the most part, the post positions play fair. And race number 8, that 6 furlong affair, is a claiming 10,000 race. And it's the last race of the pick 4. And for some reason, they're always the hardest to hit. How are you going to close it out?
Yeah, they are. It's really frustrating sometimes. Well, I like the number 3 Speeding Kid. Finished third versus Tougher in the last race, getting the highest last race speed rating. And then this horse drops in class today, and the trainer wins 25% of the time in the second race after a claim. Then I like number 5, Bell Tapazir, ran second versus Tougher in the last race. The trainer wins 21% of the time, first race after being claimed. This horse can improve at a shorter distance and has the highest last speed figure at today's distance, and the best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 4, Winning Drive, had plenty of trouble in the last race and drops in class today. That good jockey Trevor McCarthy is in the irons. And then number 8, Next Flight, drops in class today, has a decent workout on January 18th at Belmont.
This is another race that confused me a little bit with the morning light odds. I know the 5 horse, and I'm not really a big fan. I think it's very vulnerable, the even money favorite. If it goes off at even money or better or below, I think it's simply because it was the even money favorite online, early morning line. It does have the top early pace numbers. It's all horses in this field except for number 1 are dropping. But this one is making the biggest drop, going from $52,000 down to $28,000. First off the claim for trainer Linda Rice, who's won 58 of 274 races like that. Horse is constantly getting well bet, so the betting public seems to like the 5 horse. And some good workouts getting ready. I just don't know that it's a 1-to-1 horse, Terry. But then again, when I look at the rest of the field, I don't really think it's facing a whole lot here. Number 3, Speeding Kid, did run the top last race speed figure. Second start with trainer Jeremiah Engelhart. And the second time around with Jeremiah, the horses have won 21 of their last 65 starts. Does have the fastest quarter-mile fraction. So I do think Speeding Kid's probably going to be speeding to the lead, making everybody come get it. And Jeremiah is turning this horse around pretty quick. Last time out, the horse ran on January the 22nd. Cause of Action is a horse in the field that's getting a weight break. And when I look through the post positions, the only other time the horse had the rail in its last 10 starts, it did win, and it was at 6 furlongs, and it was at Aqueduct. So maybe it's a horse that likes the rail. Finally, number 4, Winning Drive. The horse is making its third start off layoff in the money, 9 out of 13 times at the distance, and it's had 2 average workouts since its last race. But to be honest with you, even with a 1-to-1 favorite in this last leg, I wouldn't be surprised if any of the horses win because, like I said, there doesn't really appear to be a whole lot in here.
No, not really. So anyway, all right, can we go back to the hot dog pick 4? Because I'm really happy that you pointed out that I forgot to put one of the horses in. And that was in the 5th race. I meant to put the 1 horse in there.
Okay.
Can I do that now?
Why not? So you added a 1 horse at the end of race 5 for Terry.
Yep.
And then the prime rib pick 4, it looks a little like this. I tossed out that 2 horse at the end. You know, my fear in our prime rib pick 4 is that it can go chalky. We win and then not really collect a lot. So
yeah.
But that's the game we play. So Terry decided to go with only 3 horses in the last leg. I went with 3 horses in race number 7, tossing out the morning line favorite. and we already know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, the 2-horse will win. So hopefully,
That's right.
hopefully we can catch some prices in the late pick 4 and make the prime rib pay off big time. A little later on in the card, in a little different track, Terry, you have your best bet of the day at Gulfstream Park. Why don't you tell us how your best bet did yesterday?
Well, actually, my best bet yesterday ran out of the money, but my second choice won. Tune in and paid $460, $340, and $240. And what's really unusual this month is my first pick has winning at about a 25% clip, but my second pick is winning at a 44% clip. So that's I should have been using my second pick more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so for today, I like Gulfstream, the 8th race. I like number 5, You're Killing Me. He finished 3rd in his last race. He has highest last race speed rating. Jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. is in the irons. And the trainer wins 42% when his entries come to a second start with a turn. And then number 6, I like Friendly Fella. Finished 3rd in this versus similar in the last race. Highest speed figure at today's distance, and best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The winner wins, the trainer wins 30% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race. And it has a sharp workout on February 4th. And then number 2, Tiger. Finished in the money 3 out of the last 4 races and likes this track and distance.
Sounds good. That's Gulfstream Park, race number 8, Terry's best bet. You can find it every single day over at the mothership, horseracingtoday.net. And if you're going to be betting today at Turf Paradise, you might consider heading over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is the free track of the day today. Just click on, it's a nice new looking site, right? And some upgrades there. If you click on Turf Paradise, you will see there are the Turf Paradise picks for today. Thrill My Socks Off is the top selection on race number 1 and is a best bet. And I think today a friend of the show, CC Perkinson, and race number 7 has Prince Ali running. I'm not sure what race it is. Maybe he scratched. I don't know. But I think he's running today. Prince Ali. I don't know if we don't have him in our picks here, do we? Well, I hope he's running tomorrow then. But she told us in the email that she's not going to be wearing the red pants, Terry. She's going to be wearing the white pants tomorrow. And I feel like if she doesn't show up with the red pants, I'm a little bit worried because I think the red pants are like Michael Jordan's shoes. It's got to be the shoes. It's got to be the red pants.
Yep, that's true. I agree with that.
And again, tonight we'll be back at 9:30 p.m. Eastern with Lafitte Pinkai III, the announcer for horse racing announcer for Fox and NBC Sports. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back to talk about Foreign Fridays at Caulfield. And then on Saturday, Terry and I will also be covering some stakes races. Not quite sure which ones. We'll finalize that and let you know tomorrow on Facebook and our social media pages. And of course, Terry and I will be live in a contest tomorrow. So please wish us luck that we can finish 1-2 and lock up spots in the National Handicapping Contest.
That'd be great.
That's the plan, man. What's any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want people not to forget to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Race the number 2 Day. Like us on Facebook at Horse Race the number 2 Day. Look at us on Instagram. Have a really safe day, and I'm looking forward to having just as good a day today as we did yesterday. Along with the pick 4s and that, we had several of the exactas, trifectas, and superfectas. So
there was a strong day, strong showing at Gulfstream Park. Let's double that up at Aqueduct today, Terry. Hopefully, all of our picks tomorrow, though, Terry, in the contest end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. We'll see everybody tonight with Lafitte Pinkai. Have a great Thursday.